How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have to take a look at Voyager Digital here today because they just made a pretty large acquisition that's going to be great for their company, in my opinion. So we're going to break it down here and show you why this actually accelerates their growth in a couple different ways. Now, if you guys don't mind, if you guys want to try out the platform, there is a link underneath the video. You get $25 if you put $100 on their platform. Also, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribing, that is much appreciated. So today they announced the acquisition of Coinify. This is a cryptocurrency payment platform with a global user base in over 150 countries. This helps them in a couple different ways that they laid out here. This accelerates their international expansion and their ability to get into the payment space so that customers can make payments directly from their digital asset accounts. This also fast tracks their ability to get into the business to business payment space. Now, this gives their users, their 1.75 million users, a secure way to make payments from their Voyager accounts. This is kind of, in my opinion, a big move. We'll break down the numbers on how expensive it is here, but this is really important because one of the only things holding back some of these crypto platforms, I think, is their inability to give customers the same experience that they get at banks, right? Banks, you can set up all these different payments to and from. You can also pay directly from your account, from debit cards and stuff like that. So instead of going to JP Morgan Chase, getting 0.01% a year on your cash there, you could put your money into USDC on Voyager, and as long as you feel comfortable with it, and as time goes on, all these assets and all these companies will get bigger, so people will feel naturally more comfortable. Then as time goes on, you could actually put maybe 20 grand, 30 grand in there, and then just have that gain interest at 9% a month. So you get $250, give or take, in interest, and then you just make payments on your credit card. Imagine if you start, I don't know, putting your monthly insurance bills on there or your groceries, and then you can see, oh, I can just keep the cash in there and it pays me 9%. That could be big. So they're going to allow you to make payments straight from Voyager now. Now, this helps them also get into Europe, Asia, North America, and South America. They include payment processing in 15 major cryptocurrencies and transaction settlement in 20 fiat currencies via their easy-to-integrate Coinify API. They said, "We're excited to join the outstanding innovative team here at Voyager and become part of Voyager's market-leading offerings, brand, and community." And we'll explain here in a second, they are actually becoming part of Voyager. They're going to keep the majority, actually, I believe all of their employees over at Coinify. So this is the next step for Voyager, whose user base grew by 1,400%. Crypto payment usage has grown substantially over the last 12 months, and Voyager will be able to capitalize on the growth with a broadening line of products and services. Now, again, they talk about how this will help them expand into Europe because really right now they're only in the US, I believe. I'm not even sure if they're in Canada, but you can see here, this is how the payment is broken down. 5.1 million of newly issued shares of Voyager. Now, this does dilute the company, but they have dilution of maybe about 3%, I believe. So overall, it is dilution, but to help them expand, I think this is actually a good use of their newly issued shares. They'll also get 15 million in cash, but then they get to retain 5.5 million in cash. So overall, it costs them about $81 million for this acquisition. Then you can see that they are expecting to retain all of Coinify's employees, entering into employee agreements with key members on the management team. And you can see here, the transaction is expected to be immediately accretive to both revenue and cash flow. So this makes it sound like they're already positive cash flow. Now, it's going to be hard to nail down exactly what their financials look like. So I've looked into some of their past documents, and it's really hard to find, but you can see they raised $4.8 million back in January of 2018. So, I mean, they were still a multi-million-dollar company back in 2018, right at the beginning, and this is actually January 5. So they've been around for a little while. You can see that they already had 60,000 merchants in Europe back then. And then also, I pulled this up. This is from Deloitte. So this is a major accounting firm, and it breaks down their income statements from 2019. Now this is in DKK, so the conversion is about 6 of these to every US dollar. So divide all these numbers by 6, and you can Google this too. But you can see their operating profit loss was about $2 million USD. Profit loss before tax was about 2.1 million, 2.2 or so. Profit loss for the year, again, negative a couple million. And you can kind of break this down. Nothing huge here. These numbers aren't very large. I'm guessing that these have gone up substantially in terms of revenue because of the fact that we've been in a crypto bull run, and so many more people are interested in taking payments in crypto than they used to be. So that's just something that you can take a look at if you really want to. But we can see that they have locked up the shares in a couple different ways. So about 1.5 million shares are subject to lockup agreements, which means that they can't be sold within 30 days after the closing date. And then the other 3.2 million shares are subject to a lockup period on the earlier of 12 months or the date the company is listed on the NASDAQ, and 320,000 of the shares will be issued 12 months from the closing date. So they have to wait for about 318,000 shares, and then either when they hit the NASDAQ, which is really interesting because that's another catalyst for Voyager in the future, or 12 months from now. So kind of makes you think, okay, maybe they'll try to get on the NASDAQ here soon. Now, overall, it is very hard to understand exactly what Coinify is bringing to the table in terms of revenue, cash flow, balance sheet, all that stuff, because I tried to find the 2020 version from Deloitte of that audit, but I couldn't. But you can see that it does help Voyager in a number of ways. So it helps them with business-to-business partnerships. It helps them with their debit card, possibly. Helps them with international expansion and mergers and acquisitions. It helps them in a lot of different ways, even in traditional banking products. So if they can offer this to clients where, hey, any of our top 15 assets, you can pay your bills with. You can put them on a debit card, and then, or you can put expenses on a debit card, and you can pay them with Cardano. And then you still get staking with Cardano. So maybe, if you hold 10,000 Cardano and then you get interest every single month, you can use your interest every single month to pay off that card. It's great for a lot of people that want easier access. Now, I personally am not probably going to use it to pay to pay with cryptocurrencies, because I would rather have the cryptocurrencies. But I could see the case for a lot of other people. And I could also see the case for, hey, I want USDC on there, so that way I can just pay off my debit card or my credit card in the future when they actually get a credit card. I want to pay it off with USDC. I'll put $30,000, $50,000 in there over time, and it will pay me a significant amount in interest, especially with their VGX token when I get the loyalty bonus. Their loyalty program will kick off here in September. We have a couple big things for them. First of all, just huge growth. Second of all, this acquisition, which I think was actually pretty good, to dilute their company by 3% and then help them with so many of their different growth opportunities. I think that's a great acquisition, actually. So between those couple things, the fact that they might be listed on the NASDAQ here soon, and the fact that we have their loyalty program coming up, I think there are a lot of catalysts here. Now, I bought a couple more shares here today, a couple more than 2, but not a huge buy. I bought 25 shares. I really like this acquisition. And again, it's hard to value it because of the fact that we don't know their numbers. But overall, it helps them in so many different ways. It helps them just become a leader in the space because, like I said earlier, it's a land grab. Everyone wants to get positioning, right? If they can help businesses and they can sign up more businesses to not only hold assets on their platform, but also start accepting crypto as payments, and it can be converted over to USDC or it can be converted to Bitcoin or whatever. That could be big for them. A lot of the larger companies in the space do things like this already, and I just really like it. I think the business-to-business partnerships are going to be big down the line, and they have been growing on that side of their business. Now, of course, I could always be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. But as a $2 to $3 billion company, this is one of the fastest growing companies out there. And I love the fact that they are focusing on expansion instead of just being content with where they are. I think it really is important to build out their entire platform. And we know that their CEO was from E-Trade too. So we might get part of their platform growing here in the next 6 months or 12 months in the stock side too. If you could invest in stocks and then sell Cardano to buy Tesla or something like that, or if somehow you could invest your interest from Cardano over in Tesla, kind of like M1 Finance, where you can invest in a pie or something like that. So maybe you take all your cryptocurrencies and all the interest goes into a different portfolio in stocks. I don't know. That would just be awesome in my opinion. Now, of course, like I said, if you guys want, you can check out the link down below to invest with Voyager. So definitely check that out if you want some free money. There is a link down there to BlockFi too if you want to try them out. And some big news from BlockFi. They actually have the applications for their new BlockFi credit card available now. So before you had to join the waitlist, now you can actually apply. So if you guys want to apply for that, you can try it out underneath the video. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.